What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. To focus in on the Vancouver Canucks keeping Jake Virtanen and Jared McCann around for beyond their 10th game, effectively that they will be in the NHL for the rest of the season. Saw a piece 10 days ago. I talked about probably about a week ago, a little less than that. The teenagers in the NHL, who would stay and who would go. I picked McCann to stay around, and Virtanen to go back. I'd still stand by that. I think McCann has actually looked very good since I did that piece. He looked good before that. 5 goals in 9 games for the 19-year-old from the Sioux Greyhounds. And Virtanen, I just think he could use another year in the WHL. But, Vancouver's like, all right, we want to develop these guys, up here. And the way they judge it is 10 minutes of ice time a night in the NHL for Virtanen. It's better than playing in, all situations in the dub for the Hitmen. So I understand where they're coming from. I can see it going both ways. But Willie Desjardins and Benning and them came to disagreement together. I thought the way they broke the news to the kids was pretty cool. They had a video session busting their balls about, all the mistakes they made and, played it up as serious. Like, you can't make these mistakes. And at the end, it was like, haha, you guys are staying around. So, tip your hat to the coaching staff and, the players on the team. But, Vancouver's playing some good hockey. I picked them to be one of the playoff teams that fell this year, and in the early goings, they're 5-2-4. They look a lot better than I thought they would. And, you look at the young kids. You look at the aforementioned duo. Bo Horvat, I thought would take some steps forward in his sophomore year. That hasn't been the case so far, but we're 10, 11 games in, he'll be all right. And, brought up Gonzo. They scored the other night. I thought he was pretty good. And, I think Gonzo can be a really good physical Western Conference center. So you got him, you got Horvat, McCann, obviously Virtanen. There's a lot of good young talent on this Vancouver roster. And, I'm not advocating blowing it up and trading away the Sedins, trading away Hughes, those guys, but I'm like, you can really create something special here. And, what are the Sedins going to win you at this point? You can get a lot for them, and maybe take that next step with even more young players in the lineup. But we'll see how it all shakes up. Vancouver, I thought should have tanked last season. They didn't. They ended up having a pretty good run. So they're having a pretty good run in terms of going to the playoffs. Obviously they lost to Calgary, but you look at this team, and I love McCann's game. I thought he should have been a little bit higher. That should have drafted a little higher. That kind of defensive acumen and, the way he played in all situations for the Greyhounds last year, he's really just kind of a great fit. With that Vancouver Canucks organization, you look at it, they drafted him the same day they traded away Ryan Kessler. And I'm not saying they're two similar as players, but, it's definitely, kind of there. And, if Cole Castles and the other guys develop it the way I think they should, they'll be in really good shape organizationally. So, while I kind of disagree with the Virtanen, keeping him around, I agree with him keeping Jared McCann around, and I look for Vancouver to have some, even if they don't make the playoffs, have some pretty exciting years, have some pretty exciting, moments this season with their young talent. Anyway, that's all I got this episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.